Hey guys, it's Russell from Zanvac, and today we're going to be talking about the highly anticipated TSPROF Kadet. It's the third sharpening system in TSPROF's lineup. I'm going to open it up, set it up, and show you some of the specs, features and so forth. So it comes in a nice cardboard box with a pretty little sleeve on the outside. Got some cardboard tabs to open. Okay. So you got an instruction manual for newbies. Shows you how to set it up, set up the basics and go forward from there. Bit of foam for protection. Then we have the clamps. These are their whole milled clamps. You've got the rotating part for the clamps to attach to. Little bag of Allen keys and some screws. I'll open up and show you that in a second. The guide rod, stone holder part, and then you've got the base and the main part of the unit itself. So this is very compact system. Out of the box, first impressions, it's compact, well machined. Everything looks pretty awesome, to be honest. Let's put it together. All the little accessories and screws come in the bag. So we've got the screw for the back of the clamp system. We've got two Allen keys, a large one and a small one. The small one's for adjusting the rod, larger one for things like the clamps. We've got a stock collar for the back of the guide rod and a little O-ring for the back of the guide rod as well. Then finally, you've got this little plastic thing for parking your guide rod when you're trying to change knives or flip the clamp. So essentially, this is on a pivot and there's a button here. Clicks in place, solid, it's not going anywhere. At the top here you have the eyelet. You've got a little grub screw which lifts out the actual eyelet itself. And this is a stone thickness compensator. So what you do is when you're getting a stone, you can lift it up to this point here, put your stone in between the gap, lock it in place. Much like other systems with their stone thickness compensators, this is a very handy tool when changing between two different thickness stones. So for setup, we'll just put that down the bottom. You've also got like a little locking tab here, so if you don't want the system to engage, you just release this lock and it will stop the mechanism from locking in place. You've got the rotating assembly, where it's got a cam lock assembly that enables you to rotate the clamps and then re-lock in place. On the inside here we have like a strip of Teflon, so a non-slip surface, so against the metal it glides quite nicely. And then you've got this little grub screw. The grub screw has a spring inside, and this little piece of Teflon or PTFE will press against the back side of this shaft and create friction points so you can adjust as you need to when you're changing your angles. So screw this into the back, slot it in like so. The benefits of this system is if you're left-handed, right-handed preference, you can flip it over and mount it to the other side, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything to do with the system, just what you prefer to sharpen with. Screw it down like so until it's nice and snug, and that takes out any free play within the mechanism. Next thing, we've got the two single whole mill clamps. Much like the KO3 systems clamps, these are a little bit smaller, but they still take the same fitment as the KO3. Mounted to the body like so. Find the hole at the back. Lock it in place. Do the other side like so. Best thing about TSPROF systems is just they're to the point where they're almost over-engineered. These things are essentially mini tanks. They're built to last. If you're investing in a system and you're not sure what to get, definitely consider the TSPROF range. Just the machining, all the CNC work that has gone into these things is insane. Now I'll show you the way to adjust the height. Is you loosen the rear end. You don't need to go fully soft, just enough that if you put a bit of pressure, you can lift it with a bit of leverage like that, and you lock it in place. Now, extra clamps that you can purchase that aren't included in the kit but are available. These were designed for the KO3 system. So you've got the single clamp, you've got the hole milled single clamps as well, which you can see they're just a bit bigger, a bit longer, a little bit wider as well. So if you're trying to do different knives and you want a different clamping setup, they're a great option to put in there. And then lastly, you've got the universal table, which was a product that was released from TSPROF more recently, but allows you to do scissors, chisels, anything with a single edge blade that's 65 degrees, that sort of more obtuse style angles. That mounts in the center like so. Take those clamps off. The table then allows you to set different angles on the unit. So great little versatile tool if you're doing other things than just knives. Now setting up the guide rod in the system. This part goes into the eyelet. You get your little rubber O-ring and then the little stopper that goes on the back. You set this once you've got your stone in place and your knife's all set up. That way you can determine the travel of the guide rod so it doesn't slip off the edge of your knife. The other cool thing is this little plastic piece, which is essentially the parking tool. So that clips on to the base of the rod like so. Then that goes in and mounts directly under the eyelet. So it will hold the rod in place. So we'll put the stone holder part onto the rod now. Screws down, and then there you have the Cadet ready for sharpening, ready to mount your knife. Sharpen away like so, park it, flip your tab, rotate. You can see how it rotates. When it pulls back, the whole unit is solid. There's no play in this. This is very well engineered and well machined piece of equipment. Make sure you consider this when you're looking at sharpening systems. We also have a stone here just to show you how that mounts in the system. We'll just rotate that over. Got little dovetail ends, much like the Blitz 360 and the KO3 systems. This just shows you how, when it's in there, hold the stone, you set your angle cube on top of this platform here. Do your sharpening. When you're ready to change stones or flip the clamp, just park it, flip, change stones as necessary. Now in terms of this being compact, I do have a Blitz 360 here for size comparison. You can see the unit assembled itself is larger, but what you'll see is when this is compacted down, that it's quite a small unit. The Blitz itself obviously has got smaller clamps. The guide rod itself has the ability to collapse down on itself to that size with the guide rod. When you're dealing with this one here, once in a travel sized mode, you can leave the clamps on if you desire, like so. And there you can see the two units against each other. It is quite compact, so if you want to travel and sharpen, it's a great unit, quite slim. There is some good weight to the base, so you don't necessarily need to get a clamp to hold it down. The smaller Blitz system doesn't have a as wide base, so it can rock around. You might want to get a clamp. It's still a brilliant system, very well machined. But if you're trying to sharpen things other than just knives, pocket knives, probably want to go for the Cadet system. Very well machined. Extremely happy with how TSPROF's come up with this system. If you want to find out more information about this system, where to buy it, pricing, information about the Blitz itself as well, visit zamvac.com.au. Make sure to like, share and subscribe to our videos. Turn the notifications bell on, and we'll see you in the next video.